What's up, everybody?
Hello. Welcome, everybody.
Welcome. Let me do one thing here.
How come I can't see us?
Uh, there we go.
There we go. Hello, everyone.
What's happening?
What's
Happy
up?
Thursday to you all.
Yes, happy Thursday.
When you see our faces on a Thursday, you know that it is time for Inside the Relationship.
Inside the relationship, we got a good one today. Got a good topic, which, yeah, I can't wait to talk about this one
Yeah.
because I'm not sure I agree, but I have to wait
Okay.
till I see the video. But anyway, welcome. If you're watching it not live, if you're watching the replay, welcome from wherever you're joining us. Hope your week is going well so far. It's Thursday here where we are. And yeah.
Yeah. So I'm sharing it, which is the same thing we're going to ask you to do in just a moment. We're going to ask you to share this. This is your way of helping us get it in front of more people.
Yes.
So I'm sharing it. Listen, you know what? We got a few things we want to talk about. So without further ado, how about we just go ahead and get started? Right?
Yes.
All right. So here we go. It's time for another episode of Inside the
Inside
Relationship.
the relationship.
Let's go.
Let's go.
You're watching Inside the Relationship with Denise and Ollie.
So sit back, relax, and let's talk about all things relationships. What's happening?
What's happening? Welcome, everyone, like I said before, to another episode of Inside the Relationship.
Inside the Relationship is a relationship show about all things relationships. If you're not familiar with who we are, if this is your first time coming across us, my name is Oliver.
I'm Denise.
And we are passionate about relationships. We're authors, speakers, and coaches in that space. Speaking of authors, since we mentioned we're authors, how about we show some things that we are the author of? So first things first, the Have a Conversation Journal. Have a Conversation Journal is a resource that couples use to help spark conversation, much needed conversation. It is a great tool. Individuals who have used it have come back to us and said, man, this was good, man. This got us talking about some things we probably wouldn't normally talk about. So
Yeah.
the Have a Conversation Journal, Couples Journal, is available for you either at our website, denali.org/shop, or you can pick it up at Barnes and Noble, or you can pick it up on Amazon. All right. The other thing, there's a few things we have here. The other thing is Overcoming the Man Laws for the Man Who Wants to Be His Best Despite What He Was Taught.
Yes.
This is my journey of self-discovery in several areas that I grapple with as a husband and father. And this is, listen, I'm not saying this because I wrote it. This is a good book.
It's a very good book.
If you don't believe me, you can go to Amazon and look at some of the reviews that are there. We're going to be looking to use this book a lot more. So those of you who have men's ministries, I've actually put a program together that is based on this book, so that we can do some book studies and do some different things with men's ministry. So if you have a men's ministry, we can do it either in person or we can do it virtually.
Very good.
Reach out to me.
Very good.
For that.
Very
the other thing,
needed.
Yeah, it is. Other thing I want to share, and I unfortunately don't have a current graphic up for it. It's available. It's no longer pre-order, but that is the Dear Single Mommy Journal and Planner. My wife, many of you who know her know that she has a heart for single parents, and as such is creating resources. And this is one of the resources that she has created for single parents. You can pick that up on Amazon as well. All right. So today, if you're following us, you might have seen us on today in an impromptu way. We were doing a telethon.
Can you imagine?
Are you familiar with the telethon of I don't know if they do it anymore, but I know when I was growing up, you see these telethons, and they're trying to raise money for something, or they're trying to sell something, or whatever they're
Yeah.
trying to do.
Yeah.
Operators are standing by and they would pan to the people, right?
Yeah.
So we did a telethon today based on our event that is coming up on March the 23rd. If you are anywhere near the Maryland, Washington, D.C., or Northern Virginia area, we want to see you there. Okay.
It's going to be fun.
You can go back wherever you're watching this. Well, maybe not on YouTube, but I know the Facebook people can go back and catch a link for this so that they can get their tickets. Even if you're not in the DMV area, you know someone who is in the DMV area.
Yes.
Send it to them.
Send it to them. Share
Okay.
it with them.
We're
It's
gonna-
going to be a great time.
Going to be a great time. Going to be a great time. It's going to double as a celebration for my wife, whose birthday will be 3 days prior. We got some good stuff happening, folk. We got my man Kel's DJ Special K in the building on the ones and twos. We're gonna have some music. We're gonna have a good time. We got our friend Armina, dope therapist extraordinaire, that will be in the conversation with us as well. We got B. Leah doing spoken word, and you as the audience will get an opportunity to interact with us as well, because there will be mics set up in the audience. Man, this is gonna be a good time.
So excited about that.
Go over to Eventbrite. I'm gonna put the link in the comments a little later in the show. Go over to Eventbrite, search "Have a Conversation After Dark." Get your tickets today.
Yes.
All right. Just an update on the telethon. The telethon, we wanted today, March 6th, to get 10 couples to buy tickets and 20 couples to buy tickets and 10 singles to buy tickets.
Well, the night is, it's only, it's the day is not over yet.
Day's not over. We haven't gotten to our goal yet.
So
but
there have been some ticket purchases.
There have been.
You can still purchase as well.
All right. So with all that being said, let's get into the show.
Yes.
If you saw the graphic for tonight's show, the graphic states that all men are inherently polygamous. All men are inherently polygamous. If you're not familiar with this show, it's a segmented show. We have 4 segments. We do a media mix down. We do a question of the week. We do a marriage minute, and we do a last word. This comes from our media mix down for today. So let's get into it. All men are inherently polygamous. What do you think?
Is there a video?
Yep, there's a video. Here we go.
Are inherently polygamous. They choose to be monogamous. I just had to say that. It needs to be out there in the world, and we need to accept it. And the sooner we accept it, the easier conversations will be when you're choosing a mate.
Let me.
All men are inherently polygamous. They choose to be monogamous. I just had to say that. It needs to be out there in the world, and we need to accept it. And the sooner we accept it, the easier conversations will be when you're choosing a mate. Because you could just ask, are you planning to be polygamous in the beginning? And it could make things easier. All men are inherently polygamous.
Okay. So is that true? Is that true?
Man would probably be better at answering that, but I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I say that no, I don't think so.
So that's something that I've heard.
Inherently?
That's something that I've heard on many occasions, that men were not made to be monogamous. If you're watching, I would love to hear what you think about this. Hold on, let me move this around so I can actually see.
Yeah, Drive to Thrive broadcast said, I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
And shout out to Drive to Thrive for being in the comments. We appreciate you for being a part of the show today. So yes, that's something that I've heard quite often. I've heard different people talk about the argument in different ways. Some people really believe that it's true. Some people believe that it is just a way to allow us as men to get away with not having to commit to one person. There are some people that I've even heard some people actually break it down in a psychological and scientific way. This is Brent, formerly Fallible Man podcast. Shout out to
What's up, Brent?
my guy Brent. Make sure that you are following Drive to Thrive. Did some rebranding, but still same great guy, same outstanding information. So make sure you follow those guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of things. So let me give you my take. I think that there's because she said they're inherently polygamous, but they choose to be monogamous.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that wording wise, I don't know that that's true.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it's probably an easy road to go down. Being polygamous is probably an easy road to go down.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes some self-control and some integrity
Mm-hmm.
and some willpower in some cases to
not go
down that road.
Right.
So in that vein, I would say I see what she's saying, but inherently, if we're going to have semantics around the word inherently, inherently means it's part of your character.
Right.
And I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know about that either. But do you know what I did think of while you were talking?
Mm-hmm.
Of back in the Bible days when it was.
And that's a lot of people's argument.
That's a lot of people's argument.
That's a lot of people's argument.
Back in Bible days, it was, in the early Bible days, it was a thing for a lot of people.
Yeah. To
have more than one wife.
Right. And it was something that was allowed.
Right. But so inherently, I'm not sure if I agree with inherently, but I could understand how, from looking at Bible days, how people might think that.
Okay.
So, but I don't think so.
Okay.
Brent says men are attracted to beautiful women. It is part of the way God made us. However, with a woman who is the correct partner and helpmate that God put in your life, the urge to be with other women is superficial, or a superficial urge to scratch the unknown.
Okay.
I kind of agree with that, Brent.
Yeah. I don't know that. So if we're going to talk about what's inherent, Brent talked about men being attracted to beautiful women, right? That's a natural thing.
That's a natural thing.
Now, what you do with those women, how you react, right? Because we've often said there's a difference between someone being attractive and you being attracted to them, right? One is natural. You're attractive. You look fantastic, right? The other is, okay, I'm shifting now mentally to position myself to make some kind of decision. Right. That I don't think is inherent.
No.
I think it's inherent for you to see somebody and be like, man, she's attractive, and keep it moving. Right. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that. I'll show the graphic again because the graphic speaks to our media mixed down moment. And in our media mixed down moment, this young lady here said that all men are inherently polygamous. They just choose polygamous. All men are inherently polygamous. They just choose to be monogamous. So let us know what you think about that in the comments. If you missed the video, that's okay. Well, the video was saying that all men are inherently polygamous. Let us know in the comments what you think about that. Also, if you have a media mixdown that you would like to share with us, you can email us.
Yes, email us or send us a message, DM us, and we'll take a look at it and we'll probably chop it up.
We will probably chop it up. So, again, last time, Are all men inherently polygamous?
Nah,
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. We actually agree this time.
We agree on this one. I don't think they are. Brent said in the biblical period, the need to mate.
was a issue of nature. I agree. A lot of kids didn't survive to old age. Families had to be big to survive. Only a couple of King David's children survived, and he had multiple wives and concubines. Yeah. Yeah.
Shout out to Gamal.
That was why. Oh, come on,
Gamal said he don't want to touch that. He don't want to touch this one.
No, come on, Gamal. You are here. You got to say
Yeah, come
something.
on, man. So I'm not even going on to the next segment yet, Gamal, until we hear from you, brother.
You got to say something.
We was going on to the next segment until we saw you show up, brother. So we need to hear what you have to say.
You shouldn't have put that zipper lip up there.
Listen,
You shouldn't have
this
done
woman said that all men are inherently polygamous. They just choose to be monogamous. She also said that knowing that you should go into a relationship basically saying, hey, this is what it is, you good or not. I'm paraphrasing, but that's essentially what she was saying, right? And it would save a lot of issues if you just went in and said, hey, this is what I'm trying to do and whatever. Now, I am not saying that I condone polygamy.
Correct.
But she is right. If you go into it saying, hey, this is where I'm at, you either good or you not.
Yeah.
Then yeah. I mean, that's just smart conversation.
They're saying they're letting you know where they stand.
Right. Just
so
letting
you can do with that now
whatever you want to do with it.
What you will.
But inherent, meaning part of my character, I don't know that that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Not to entertain, I'm using that word loosely, more than one woman. Now, my attraction or my ability to recognize attractiveness is inherent. I believe that. What I do with it is not inherent.
So Gamal says all people are inherently sinful. Agreed. This means that we will always pick the position that is most complicated for us. So there's that. In order to do what is best for us, we always need supernatural help.
So Gamal, we're going to let that, I'm messing with you when I say this. Let me say that first. We're going to let that one slide, Gamal, because that was a great answer. That was a run for office answer.
No, I mean, I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
I don't disagree.
I agree. However, that makes me think that all people are inherently sinful. That makes me think that everyone struggles with all sinful things. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I think when I see that. And I don't know that everyone would have. Every sinful person struggles with everything that is sinful. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. But is it struggle or just has a propensity to?
Propensity to. Well, does everyone even have the propensity to every sinful thing?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think so.
Okay.
Because if all the circumstances were aligned or all the stars were aligned, as they say, and the right scenario presented itself and you were in the wrong frame of mind or you weren't prayed up or did not tap into the supernatural help, then yes. There are things that we probably say now we would never, ever do.
Right.
But if the enemy laid the groundwork and when that groundwork was being laid, we just happened to not be as strong, then yeah.
So you don't think that there are some things that we know is a sin that some people will be like, I don't want to do that anyway. That's not my thing anyway, type thing.
Yeah, I agree with that, but that doesn't mean they don't have the propensity to do it. They've already made a decision not to.
Okay.
Now, if they stand on that decision and they have the strength, supernatural help to continue to stand on that position, then they'd probably be okay.
Yeah.
But the moment you choose to try to figure it out on your own or step out, which this is kind of taking us down a different road, but you have that.
Okay, so Brent says, this is Driven to Thrive broadcast. This is Brent from Driven to Thrive broadcast. Says, no woman is worth your devotion is little enough to split your attention with someone else. Also, biblical women rarely spent time with their husbands. That's true. Life looked more different. Yeah, it did.
Yeah, life looked more different.
Yeah.
I'll say this before we continue on to the next segment, that polyamory has always been popular in certain circles.
Yeah.
It has become increasingly popular in the African American community.
It has.
Increasingly popular.
Yeah.
And so, again, Carrie, whatever her name is, says that men are inherently polygamous.
Okay.
All right, so that's the media mix down for today. If you have one that you would like to send us to look at, shout out to Dr. Terry Parks, who continues to send us some great stuff. He sent me something the other day.
Sent you that?
No, he didn't send me this, but he
Okay.
sent me something the other day I haven't looked at yet.
Okay.
That might be the next one. You can send it to us, DM us wherever you're at, or you can email us as well. So, all right, let's get to this question of the week. This is an interesting question of the week. So let's get to that.
All right, here's the question of the week, everybody. Is it ever acceptable to keep certain secrets for the sake of protecting each other, or does complete honesty always have to win? I think we talked about this before a long time ago.
Prince, you guys love to hit those hot topics
in our After Dark. Yeah, we do. In our After Dark show. It's been a long time. It's a year or two ago. I think if there's something that you don't know about me, and I know that if you knew, it would hurt you or it would damage this, and that thing is no longer an issue. It's just nothing now, but you just don't know about it. I think that, why would I tell you?
Okay.
That's what I think.
Let me ask you a question, though.
Here we go.
What if you're asked about it?
If I'm asked about it, I would probably tell you. I wouldn't lie.
Okay.
But for you to just not know, and it hasn't come up, I think I would just be like, this would hurt us. This could disintegrate us. This would definitely hurt him. It's in the past. It's non-existent. Whatever it is,
So this is a touchy one.
It is.
It's only a touchy one because of what our personal. So I think the way we think about the word secret and its connotation, and the way we think about honesty and its connotation, it's tough to make a judgment call sometimes. Now, I'm going to go out on a limb. If I'm answering this question at face value, is it ever acceptable to keep certain secrets for the sake of protecting your spouse? I'm going to say yes. Is it ever acceptable? Yeah, it probably is. Right? Should you be able to tell your spouse everything? Yes. Now we got to split hairs around what secret, what kinds of things we might need to keep from each other. Yeah. You talked about things that might hurt the other person, or things that might put the other person in danger, or, you know what I'm saying? So we could kind of, without knowing the context, we can kind of go a lot of different ways.
Right.
Now, I will give a personal example, because those of you who know us know that we are very transparent.
I know what you're going to say.
There is something that I would have taken to my grave.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be honest. I'd have taken it to my grave.
Mm-hmm.
Hands down.
Mm-hmm.
Pierre is in the house. What's up,
What's up,
Pierre?
Pierre?
Interesting topic. I say no.
No, meaning
Is it ever acceptable? No.
no, it's not acceptable. Okay.
Okay. And that's fair. I'm not
Okay.
disputing. Brent said there are issues that people share only to
Share only to alleviate their
their
own
own guilt.
guilt. If it will only do damage and cause pain and you are sharing it to ease your own guilt, you are doing wrong to blab.
Interesting. Okay. There are times to
There
be
are times
silent.
to be silent. I agree.
So let me give you my experience, right? So my wife and I have been married for 25 years. Well, coming up on 25 years. In year
I don't even know what year.
12, 14, somewhere between 12 and 14.
Yeah.
In year 12 to 14, we went to for the first time went to a marriage conference entitled Weekend to Remember.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, stick a pin there. Been married 14 years. Right. In year 1, so for those of you who don't know our story, I got married. I was not ready to be married. So because I was not ready to be married, mature enough, had made some decisions and had turned from my wicked ways, I was still acting like a single person while I was married.
That sounds like I forced you to marry me and I didn't.
No. You didn't. I know why I got married. We talk about that too. So people who know us know I got married for selfish reasons. I wanted to have a lot of sex and I didn't want to really think about whether I was doing the right thing or not.
You didn't want to think about if
Yeah.
you were going to hell or
Right.
not.
I just didn't want to think about it. So that's why I got married. But here's the thing though. I was still living like a single person. So let's fast forward the story. We're talking about, is it ever acceptable to keep certain secrets, right? In year 1, there were some
Say it.
indiscretions.
Okay.
Okay.
That's what you want to call it.
So year 1, there's some indiscretions. I nip it. In year 2, I have this epiphany from the Holy Spirit where I'm like, I'm going to be a much better guy. And off to the races I go to be a great husband, to be a better husband, maybe I should say. So I'm doing my thing. I'm learning. I'm growing. I'm treating her how she needs to be treated. She is the queen of my life. I am committed. I am faithful. You can't pull me off my post. But she never knew. And she was never going to know. Like, let's be clear about that. We would have got to the pearly gates. And when he started writing, she would have been like, what? That's how she was going to find out. I'm serious about that.
Oh
So
my
I
goodness.
felt,
I'll be like, where is she? Where is
I
she?
felt, yes, it's acceptable. Now, the reason why I asked you the question, what if you're asked, is because fast forward to year 14. This is year 1 this happened. Clean up my act. Year 14, we're at this marriage conference. And part of the homework that we had to do was these questions we had to ask each other.
Mhm.
Because she asked me the questions, I tell you, as God is my witness, for a split second, I was going to lie. I was. Because I was like, this is good right now. And I'm not trying to tear this thing up over something that happened 14 years ago. So for a split second, I said I was going to lie. And then I chose not to. It completely destroyed the weekend.
It did. It did.
I mean, like demolition
Okay.
destroyed the weekend.
It wasn't.
It was that bad. It was.
It
For
was
me,
that
it
bad.
was.
Exactly. I was gonna say it was that bad for you
For me, it was.
because,
Yes.
like what Brent said, because of the guilt.
No,
I think so.
I wouldn't say because of the guilt.
I think so. Well,
it destroyed
not only because of the guilt, but because you know what was built from year 2 to 14
yes.
and how you had changed and how God had changed you, the Holy Spirit had changed you. You knew all of that had taken place
Right.
within you, and you were like, well, why are like I said, that this was year 2, I'm a changed man, baby.
Yeah, but what hurt? What hurt was, and I'm not saying you were wrong for this, but the reason the destroying what I'm talking about is not because I felt guilty.
Mm.
And I'm not saying I didn't, but it's not because of that. It's because of how you felt.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure I expected that.
Mm.
Well, I didn't anticipate that. I didn't anticipate
Mm.
how you would react.
Okay.
And that it would be that strongly, right?
Mhm.
I didn't think that after 13 years that you react. I'm not saying I anticipated you to be just like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
But what transpired after that conversation, I was like, yeah, I probably should have lied. That's literally what I said to myself. I was like, I should have lied.
But I'm with Brent. Some things you just got to keep to yourself unless you are asked.
All right, let's go on.
Okay, let's move on.
Because I'm not gonna tell nobody to lie. That would be
would
be unethical.
You just did.
That would be the height of being unethical.
You just did.
I'm just telling you that me, Oliver Marcel, I wish I had lied and then spent however long I needed to spend to confess my sins and allow God to be faithful and just to forgive me.
That's
I'm not
a whole nother
hold
road.
on. I'm not saying that's what you should do. I'm only talking about Oliver Marcel.
Yeah, but let's move on because now you're putting ideas in people's
Okay.
minds.
All right.
Let's move on.
So let me say it like this before we go. In my mind, the answer to this question is yes. Is it ever acceptable to keep certain secrets? Yes. We can pick apart what the secret should be and shouldn't be. That's a conversation for another day. If you're asked, you have a decision to make.
Yeah.
Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So that's the question of the week. Man, that's a doozy,
Oof.
right? That question is a doozy. So listen, if you got questions that you want, Brent says he's got to bounce. Man, thank you for being here.
Thanks
Amazing show as
for
always. Lots of
stopping in,
love.
Brent.
Man, lots of love to you and the family
Love
as well.
you guys.
Please tell everybody we said hello. Thanks for being here. If you're not already following Driven to Thrive, make sure you check out Driven to Thrive. Phenomenal
Driven
stuff.
to Thrive broadcast.
All right. So if you have a question of the week that you would like for us to tackle, you can email that question to us, email on your screen, or you can DM that question to us as well. So those of you who didn't know a little bit about us, you just learned something about us tonight and our story. We've told it in some other places, but you learned something about us. All right, let's get on with the Marriage Minute. In the Marriage Minute today, we'll talk about what it is in a second. All right, so for the Marriage Minute today, real simple. In the description, I was saying that there's something that hinders people, couples, from creating and maintaining a very healthy relationship, right? And it may not be what you think it is. So I'm just going to talk really briefly about what that is. Gamal said even asking that question can get some husbands into trouble. Yep. Agreed.
Okay.
What?
So I it's always the husbands, but even asking that question can get some wives into trouble too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, Gamal's going to speak from a man's perspective.
Yeah, true. Yes.
Yeah,
true.
absolutely.
Yeah.
That goes both ways. And I would say this is going to be unpopular opinion. So just know that it's opinion. It's not advice. I would say don't ask a question you don't want to know the answer to. Especially, and here's the kicker, especially if there is no reason currently for you to ask that. Does that make sense? So, for example, it's year 25, right? We've been rocking all this time, right? There's clearly no reason for you to ask me if I'm cheating on you.
If you are currently cheating on me, or if you have ever cheated on me.
I'd say either one.
No, I don't agree then.
I'd say either one.
I don't agree.
Okay, we got to listen, We got to stick a pin here. We got to do a whole nother show on that.
We might have to do it after dark
We have
about
to do
that.
us after dark on that, because clearly we have a
Yeah.
difference of opinion here.
Yeah.
Okay, and let's do that.
Mhm,
Maybe that'll be Saturday nights after dark.
mhm.
We'll tackle that. Marriage Minute. One thing that can keep couples from building and maintaining a healthy relationship, and it may not be what you think, right? Often we go straight to like stuff like communication and conflict management and intimacy and that kind of thing,
Yeah.
right? The thing that we've and you can tell me what you think about this. The thing that we've seen that has been maybe the biggest hindrance, the
Mhm.
biggest roadblock to couples building and maintaining is their unwillingness to forgive.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
What you thinking?
I was thinking sometimes it's difficult for people to forgive, but you're not talking about it being tough or challenging.
Mm-mm.
You're talking about when people are unwilling.
Unwilling. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So yeah, I agree.
it's often going to be tough,
Yeah.
and it's often going to be challenging,
Hmm.
right? And sometimes it won't be, but our experience, and not with everybody, of course, but we've seen
Mhm.
how being unwilling to forgive has literally
Hmm.
put a wedge, stalled
Yeah,
it.
stalled
Great
the
word.
stalled the progression
Yeah.
of healing, or stalled the you just can't move on. You cannot move on if you are unwilling
If you're unwilling.
to
Yeah.
forgive. Like, you may be willing but find it hard to do,
Hmm.
and might need to figure out some tools or get some help and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But if you're unwilling, it's going to just stall everything.
Yeah, it is. And I'll say this, I won't go into this now. If you want this from me, you can shoot us a message or shoot us an email. There are some ways when you're seeking forgiveness. There's a process
Mhm.
for the person seeking forgiveness. There's also a process for the person who is granting forgiveness.
Yeah.
And keyword process,
Mhm.
right? Because these are steps that you go through systematically that may take some time,
Yeah.
and some effort.
Mhm.
But if you cannot forgive your mate, what you are attempting to build will always be shaky.
Mm. Mm. Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
It's like,
More than shaky.
yeah, it's like you having to build a building, and there's certain inspections and certain foundational things that have to happen, and
Mhm.
certain steps in the process that need to happen first, but you skip all that. You ignore all that. You like, man, I know that's what we're supposed to do. That's what the building codes
Trying
say,
to
and
get
that
to the finish line.
right, and that's what that's what the specs call for. But nah, we about to do this over here. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, do that. See how long that holds up.
Mhm.
It's the same thing with your marriage. And so if you are if you are excuse me, one of those folks, and this is not a judgment, if you're one of those folks for which forgiveness is something you just can't, like, nah, I can't do that.
Mm.
There are two things I'm encouraging you to do. One is go talk to God.
Mhm.
The other is come talk to us.
Yeah, I mean, it's maybe I can't imagine how you would still be unwilling
Mhm.
to forgive when you think about the fact that it says in the word that if you don't forgive,
Mhm.
then God is not going to forgive you.
Mhm.
Like,
We say that, but we don't really believe that.
we don't believe what?
We don't believe that God really won't forgive us.
You think so?
Absolutely. It's like a whole bunch of stuff we say that we don't really believe.
Mm.
There's a whole bunch of things that have become very clichéic.
So, man, this earpiece is bothering me today. So, you think that often people are like, surely God doesn't mean that about this.
Yeah, I
Really?
do.
Okay.
I do believe that. Because we could say that and it's very gripping, in the moment, right? But then when you're by yourself and you're like, man, I just can't let that go. Like, and
I
there's
will
reasons
understand.
why, right? We don't, and let's be clear, we're human beings, right?
Yeah.
Many of us struggle with forgiveness because we kin forgiveness to giving a pass.
Yes. Yes.
And I ain't about to give you no pass
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
So we just got to dead that, because that's never gonna happen. I'm never gonna say what you did is okay.
Right.
I'm never gonna say, okay, I'm good with that. Going and do. I'm never gonna do that.
Yeah. I think
So
that's what it is too. Often is it makes it seem as though what the other person did, like you said, that it's okay, that you feel like it's okay.
Yeah.
So they don't need forgiveness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they don't deserve
Or
forgiveness.
they don't deserve forgiveness.
Like, you hurt me so bad, and I'm just gonna be like, okay. No. The other reason why it's tough for many of us to forgive is because many of us think that forgiveness mandates reconciliation.
And it does not.
And it doesn't.
It does not. It could happen.
It could.
But it doesn't have to happen. If you don't feel like this would be the healthiest thing to forgive and be in the same proximity with this person, you don't have to. You just have to forgive.
You just have to forgive. And I think it was Dr. Parks. It might have been Dr. Parks over the weekend at the event that we were saying that, you can go into business with someone and they do you completely dirty. And you're like, man, I forgive you. But rest assured, like, we ain't forming another business partnership again.
That's
like, that ain't about to happen.
Correct.
But yes, you're forgiven, right? And so we don't often separate those two things. And because I feel like now I got to reconcile and we got to be arm in arm and we got to show up in church together again. Nah, we ain't about to do that. So I ain't forgiving you. Right?
Yep.
So listen, again, if you're one of those people that struggle with forgiveness, two things we recommend. One, talk to God. Two, talk to us. There are some things that we do in addition to walking through those processes that have been helpful for couples to getting them to a place where now they see forgiveness as an opportunity to free them into a space that would allow them to grow.
Yeah.
And if you want to be freed into that space, talk to God. Come talk to us. All right. That's the Marriage Minute for today, which brings us to the end of this show today. And we end each show the same way, with the last word. All right.
What's the last word? You got one? Because I don't have one.
I got one.
Okay.
I got one. So today's last word is very, very simple. And the reason why I'm choosing this last word today is because we have an event coming up that's Have a Conversation After Dark. And so in light of that, the last word is simply have a conversation.
Have a conversation.
And as much as that is a duh, you would be surprised how many people have not just sat down and had a really great conversation. And I get it. We're living fast-paced lives, and sometimes the extent of our conversation is what's for dinner. Did you pick up the kids? Did you get the groceries? Did you put gas in the car? Or I got an oil change tomorrow, or I got a doctor's appointment. We get that. Hallway talk. We get that.
Yeah.
We understand that, right? We're encouraging you to move past that. Have a conversation. Doesn't matter what it's about. Conversation, we say this on our Saturday night show, is a catalyst for
growth,
catalyst for
bonding,
and a catalyst for
learning.
And I really hope you want to bond with your spouse.
Yeah.
I hope you want to learn something about your spouse. Hope you want to grow with your spouse.
Yeah.
So last word is simply have a conversation. Take a few minutes, pull your beloved aside and be like, hey, tell me about such and such, and have a conversation. All right. Listen, that's our show for today. That's Inside the Relationship for this week. Thank you, all of you who are in the comments, those of you who are watching now or watching the replay. We are grateful for you. You are the best part of this. For those of you who are in the DMV, you're in the Washington, D.C., Maryland, Northern Virginia area, we need you to get your tickets ASAP
Yes.
for Have a Conversation After Dark. We're doing it in front of a live audience in Columbia, Maryland. We're going to have a great time. It's going to double as a celebration for my wife's birthday.
Whoop, whoop.
We got Kels coming through. My guy Kels, he did our DJ Special K, did my 50th birthday party a few years back, smashed it. We got him coming through on the ones and twos. We got Armina that's going to sit in with us on the conversation. Dope therapist extraordinaire. We got B. Leah coming to rock down the house with her art and what she's going to do in the way of spoken word. We're going to have a great time, great conversation. If you've ever been to the Saturday night show we do, you already know what it's going to be like. And imagine that with a live audience and the audience being able to participate, because there will be microphones in the audience for you to grab and give your 2 cents as well. Yes, it is on the Facebook page. It's the link is posted there for you to get tickets.
We've been posting it a lot.
Yeah, we've been posting it a lot. So it'll be on the Facebook. It's on the Facebook page. We did a live today that has the link in the comments as well, so you don't have to scroll too far to look for it. And we are looking forward to having everybody who is able to come hang out with us We're really excited about this, man.
Yes, we are.
We've been talking about this probably for a year.
Yep, this is going to be the first
leg of many
of the tour.
This is the first of many. So if you're not in the DMV area, no fret. We've already started talking to some folks in New York. Already contacted somebody in Philly. We're trying to do New York, Philly, Hartford, Connecticut. So we're going to try to stay up top for a little bit. And then we're trying to go down. We're trying to do Huntsville, Atlanta, some other places. So we're going to have a good time.
Kamal said, I'm coming, but I'm not saying nothing.
Kamal, we setting up the mic right next to you.
Right next to you.
We're going to set up the mic right next to you.
He said, I intend to have sex that night.
Hey, I hear you, fam. I hear you, bro. I hear you. But yeah, come on through, man. We would love to have you and your lovely wife come through, man. Hang out with us. We're going to have a great time. So listen, we're going to get out of here. Thank you guys for being the best part of this show. This is another episode of Inside the Relationship. For those of you who hang out with us, make sure you're with us on Saturday night. This Saturday night is looking like we're going to continue this conversation that was started with the question of the week. All right, let's do it. We'll get down and dirty with that one. So make sure you're here with us to enjoy that conversation. All right, listen, blessings on you. Have a phenomenal rest of your Thursday evening. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.
Take care, guys.
Later.